There's something about standing at the edge of sacred places that makes time feel different somehow. Today I want to take you on a journey to a place that broke my understanding of what symbols can mean, a place where faith and resistance really intertwined. And this place is called the Hill of Crosses. To explain in short what the Hill of Crosses is a hill where crosses have been placed, which is quite self-explanatory. And I visited this sacred ground just last week or a couple of weeks ago when this video comes out. And I am not a religious person, but there was something really awe-inspiring about this place, as well as being quite eerie, and I wanted to talk about it, and I recommend anyone go and visit, whether you're a religious person or not. It's a place where every cross tells a different story. It tells someone's story. They clearly walked up this hill, placed the cross themselves, and you can see that the crosses, they hang and swing from other crosses, and they're planted into the ground with stakes. Some are large, some are small, some ornate, some quite minimalist. It's really a beautiful, hopeful place. And what it really got me thinking about was how symbols are extremely important to people, especially in times of deep need and in difficult times. This Hill of Crosses had been built upon and replaced and replenished many times because it had been destroyed by governments based on regimes. It had also been destroyed during the war. So this is I think the fourth time it actually had been created, and there are over 100,000 crosses placed onto this hill. I personally grew up Catholic, so I know that the cross is meant to be a symbol in the Catholic Church that symbolizes a connection between God and human, and him almost reaching out to humans, which is quite a hopeful thought. And I think that in this particular instance, hope is something that is trying to be touched upon and is particularly important. It's also shown in the resilience of this hill's existence. The hill also was accompanied by a chapel, so it is a continuous place of worship in that way as well. I believe that this hill is really a monument to endurance, to hope. Each cross here is placed as an act of defiance against forgetting and against a darker force. It's resilience. And you know what Simone Weil, she compared the beauty of the world to a labyrinth. You enter and at first you're lost, you're separated from everything familiar, everything comfortable. You're walking blind, not knowing if you're moving forward or just going in circles. But if you keep walking, if you just keep walking, something happens. You reach the center, and there's a transformation waiting. And I feel like this is what the hill does to you, whether you're religious or not. There is this feeling in the air. It's quite a silent, still place. It's a hill. There are forests close by, but the hill itself is very individual. It almost feels like it shouldn't exist as a hill because the landscape itself is very flat apart from this hill. The beauty of the world is the mouth of a labyrinth. The unwary individual who on entering takes a few steps is soon unable to find the opening. Worn out, with nothing to eat or drink, in the dark, separated from his dear ones, and from everyone he loves and is accustomed to, he walks on without knowing anything or hoping anything, incapable even of discovering whether he is really going forward or merely turning around on the same spot. But this affliction is as nothing compared with danger threatening him, for if he does not lose courage, if he goes on walking, it is absolutely certain that he will finally arrive at the center of the labyrinth, and there God is waiting to eat him. Later, he will go out again, but he will be changed. He will have become different. After being eaten and digested by God, afterward he will stay near the entrance so that he can gently push all those who come near into the opening. Symbols are everlasting. Like icons, they're everlasting. They endure through time. They are resistant to it. For example, icons like Marilyn Monroe, whether we think of the person or not, we remember the icon, we remember what she stands for, what she is a symbol of, and we can see this echoed in Andy Warhol's creations of her face, as well as like the Campbell soup. These were meant to be symbols and representations of a type of society and what we value. It really mirrors what we value. And I think that here the crosses really show, this overwhelming repetition of the crosses is such an enduring thing, and the cross is such a powerful symbol that is universally recognized. And what I think is important to take away from the whole experience is the silence, is the moment you get to share with these symbols. You walk along a long pathway to get to the hill, and then once you go up it, it is quite a steep hill, so there's time to contemplate, and there are so many different edges to the hill and so many different crosses that you can't take everything in all at once, so you have to focus on individual things, and it really creates a moment in space to be a moment in time, rather, to be reflective and to share it with just this single cross that you take your gaze upon. And I think that in an age of doom scrolling and instant gratification, a symbol is something that we really need to recognize more. Obviously, there are symbols in the world that exist everywhere. So nowadays, I would say that symbols are what is used in marketing, whether you are a Nike wearer or an Adidas wearer. But I feel like this is just a monetized version of the symbol. A symbol can be something that, like in this case, creates hope, shows hope and creates it, and is this kind of replenishing force, as opposed to being a monetized situation. It is meant to be a representation of something, but here it was a selfless representation and a collective representation, as opposed to trying to show who you are individually. It was a showing of what humanity can be and the hope it can create, and shows in the very symbol itself. I hope this is making sense. This is a bit of an unscripted video because I just had some thoughts on it, and I really wanted to share them on here and show this wonderful place and make it more well known, because I'd never heard of it before, actually visiting the country and visiting it. And it's an incredibly powerful place. And I just think of like, there are things that I have that hold value and meaning to me, and they aren't meant to be for monetary gain or anything other than giving me a sense of self and a sense of comfort. And my last point is that I think that the Hill of Crosses almost becomes a piece of art in the landscape. And art is something that is a way of grasping reality, a way of controlling a situation, and I can see why this hill was created in this way and how it began to form, because these people needed, all the people that place their crosses on this hill perhaps need some stability, need some control over a situation to help them get through it. And I think it's a slight escape from reality. It kind of creates this bubble when you're there that you forget anything else exists. But I think it's really important to have, and humans need this in order to survive. Reality is difficult and unforgiving, and we need forms of art and forms of symbols to help us navigate through life. And yes, I really recommend anyone, whether you're religious or not, visiting this very special place. But obviously, please be completely respectful. The history is incredible, but it's something that should be preserved and continued. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. So comment below if you've ever visited, or if there's anywhere that you feel is a sacred place or a symbol that is sacred to you. I'd love to get this discussion going about this kind of thought of the symbol, thought of a way of preserving hope and a kind of more beautiful side to humanity that we often don't discuss, especially in this day and age where we're very concerned about the state of the world, and it all feels very doomy and hopeless and instantly gratifying whilst completely falling apart. So yes, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts, and I will see you in the next video.